Hello and welcome to One Man Renegade Productions YouTube channel. I'm your host, Theon Greg B, and today is Saturday, and we're just moments away from the start of WWE Crown Jewel from Saudi Arabia. I think it's in Riyadh. This one, I'm not even sure. Let's see. Yeah, it's Riyadh season, whatever. Let's not get into it. There's a whole. Whatever. But anyways, we got WWE PLE as it is Crown Jewel. So we're gonna open up a box of 2023 Panini Chronicles. This is 2023, right? Yeah, 2023 Panini Chronicles, and talk about what might happen at the show, what's gonna go on, what could go down, and all that sort of thing. So if you missed any previous wrestling-related videos, head on up there. There's a big old playlist right there. It's pretty massive. So if you're looking for something specific, some product, brand, or whatever, might be easy to go search the channel page while you're over there, or you're watching this video. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notification, also hit thumbs up, like this video, hit that share button, share this with everyone you know, hand it down in the comments, tell me who you think's gonna win all the matches, or what you think might go down at the PLE today. And then check out the links in the description for all my other internet stuff, eBay, Facebook, Instagram, X, all that. All right. So we got, looking at this box, there are 7 cards per pack and 6 packs per box. There's a bunch of stuff that we can find. There's all the different various products. This is Chronicles after all, so we're going to look for 9 parallels per box on average. More than 15 unique brands. Turn back the clock with a special action-packed insert. So we got Braun Breaker, who just recently won back the Intercontinental Championship from Jey Uso. Got Io Sky, who will be tagging with Kairi Sane tonight, or today. Looking to get back the tag team titles, women's tag team titles. Rey Mysterio, who is not scheduled to do anything on the show. And then LA Knight, who will be defending his U.S. title against Carmelo Hayes and Andrade in Triple Threat. We'll talk about those as we go through these and see what we can find. All right, 7 packs, 6 cards per pack. Nope, other way around. 6 packs, 7 cards per pack. All right, let's see if we find some cool stuff. All right, let's get into it. Starting things off, we got Xia Li, who is no longer with the company. Grayson Waller, not scheduled to be doing anything. We got Cora Jade, who recently returned to NXT, is now buddy once again with Roxanne Perez. We got, speaking of NXT, Booker T, of course, in his King Booker garb, which is appropriate for Crown Jewel, but he's, of course, doing commentary for NXT. Damian Priest lost to Dom Mysterio on Raw this week. Now, neither of them are scheduled to be doing anything at the show specifically, but Liv Morgan is scheduled to fight Nia Jax for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship, so potentially could be shenanigans afoot in there, so could get involved somehow, some way. JC Jane, part of now Fatal Influence in NXT, and of course her stablemate Fallon Henley just won the North American Women's Championship. And finally, speaking of Dominic Mysterio, we got Dominic Mysterio right there. Just beat Damian Priest. Shenanigans afoot, of course. But, yeah. All right. And then Damian Priest kicked the crap out of him after the match. But, yeah. All right. Next up. Cora Jade once again. We got superstar Billy Graham. Of course, the former WWE champion beat who did he beat? He beat Bruno Sammartino in his second reign, and then would go on to lose it to Bob Backlund. Grayson Waller, we talked about him a moment ago. We had Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig there with the Intercontinental Championship. We got a numbered card. It is a Contenders season ticket pink, number to 349 of JC Jane, who we discussed. Lita, rumored abound that she might show up on NXT coming up on Wednesday because they're at the ECW arena, and it's a special Wednesday episode because of the election. Of course, she was briefly in ECW before she moved over to WWE. And then Bray Wyatt, who, of course, unfortunately passed away last year. All right, moving along. So far, we haven't pulled anyone that's got a match yet. Got Carlito, of course, in the Judgment Day. So potential shenanigans along with Raquel Rodriguez. Judgment Day, potential shenanigans. Asuka, she's currently out injured. Of course, her stablemates, Kairi Sane and Io Sky, will be challenging for the tag titles. The Rock, he showed up at Bad Blood. I don't think he'll be at Crown Jewel, but eventually I think they'll have to set up something. I could definitely see him being Survivor Series. I don't know. Now, they're having the Bloodline match. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I think that match is just to set up the Survivor Series match. And I don't know if he'll be in the Survivor Series match, but I feel like he'll be involved in some shape or form or fashion or something. Got The Miz, not scheduled to be involved in anything. Of course, he's feuding with R-Truth, but now the Wyatt Six is involved, and the Prophets of Doom, as I like to call them, even though they're called the Final Testament, but I like to call them Prophets of Doom. Paul Ellering's involved, and he managed the Legion of Doom, so I don't know. It's just Prophets of Doom seem, and again, I don't think that's actually a thing. And if it is, I apologize to whatever Prophets of Doom is, and you can let me know down in the comments. And this is I believe this is a bronze parallel. We got Tony D'Angelo, who's now currently the NXT North American champion. And then, appropriately enough, Ava, put right there with your father, is the NXT commissioner or general manager or whatever they're called these days. And only subtle acknowledgments to that. I know Lexis King made one recently, but they don't usually talk about that. Of course, he usually doesn't talk about Bruno. So what are you gonna do? No, that's the wrong Disney movie. Just joking. No, Moana 2 is coming out soon. I just keep seeing commercials for that. But then I'm like, wait, that's not the Bruno one, is it? But speaking of Bruno, we talked about Bruno Sammartino. So we do talk about Bruno. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Randy Orton. I got my Disney movies confused, I think. Because that was Encanto, not Moana. Right? I don't know. Someone's going to have to help me out. My Disney knowledge isn't very good. I kind of stopped watching them after maybe the first Toy Story. Anyways, got Randy Orton. Finally, someone was actually wrestling tonight. Or today. Taking on Kevin Owens. Can't see Kevin Owens losing that match because I think obviously the setup is going to have Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes down the line. Whether that's for Survivor Series or not, I don't know. Because I'm still not quite sure how the whole Bloodline War Games match is going to pan out. I assume it's 4-4. I'm guessing Sami Zayn will be involved, but you never know. But anyways, Randy Orton. Got Zoe Stark, not scheduled to do anything. Now Gunther, here we go. Now we can talk about some stuff. Gunther, of course, will be taking on Cody Rhodes, which we just mentioned, for the Crown Jewel Championship or whatever it is. Obviously, he's currently the World Heavyweight Champion. But there was an interaction with Goldberg at Bad Blood. Now, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. If it does, maybe it was just a one-time fun thing to have him and Goldberg kind of stare at each other. But I think eventually you're going to want to maybe do something with that. So a lot of people are speculating that Goldberg could potentially get involved in this. But I don't know that you're going to bring them all this way to Saudi Arabia to set that up. But if that's just going to set up a match between them the next time they're in Saudi Arabia, I could kind of see that. I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, Gunther will be big match tonight. We got Voices of the Ring, Bobby the Brain Heenan, of course, one of the greatest, if not the greatest manager of all time. Of course, he managed Mr. Perfect for a little bit. Mr. Perfect had a few different managers in his time in WWE. Of course, he also was sort of a manager for a while in WWE as well. They got Honky Tonk Man, They're the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time until Gunther kind of overtook him on that. Tiffany Stratton, again, she's not involved. She's not in a match, but certainly Nia Jax and Liv Morgan fighting each other. She's her Nia Jax's princess or whatever. And she's got the Money in the Bank briefcase. So she could potentially be very involved in that match in one way or the other. And then we got Dominic Mysterio. Once again, we discussed Dominic Mysterio. Now, I think Nia Jax's going to win that match. I mean, we haven't pulled Nia or Liv yet. So, but, you know, got all the other participants and potentially in the match. I think Nia's going to win just because of whatever shenanigans. Now, I would have said prior to NXT that maybe Rhea Ripley would get involved, but Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan took out Rhea Ripley on NXT. So maybe she won't. Third down, Mysterio. Get Asuka once again. Got Lex Luger, the narcissist Lex Luger. Now, I will say this about the narcissist Lex Luger, and it's kind of a blip a little bit because people don't, I mean, people remember it, but like nothing, he didn't really do much as the narcissist Lex Luger because they kind of switched him over to babyface real quick when they realized Hogan was leaving. Kind of tried to turn him into the new Hogan. He ended up being more of the Hacksaw Jim Duggan, but that's neither here nor there. But the narcissist character, I feel like, should have done more and could have been better. I feel like one of the things that hampered him was they brought him in, or Bobby the Brain Heenan brought him in to go after Mr. Perfect, because Mr. Perfect had turned on Bobby and Ric Flair. And eventually that kind of resolved itself with Perfect beating Flair and kicking him out of WWE. So then it was like, well, now Lex Luger, and they had a feud that went to WrestleMania, and then, you know, kind of Luger cheated a bit with the forearm, and it never really resolved itself. I don't really remember. I mean, and then they ended up both in like the King of the Ring, and then like a couple weeks later, he's slamming Yokozuna on the Intrepid, and then whatever. But the narcissist character, I feel like there could have been more there. I don't know. I'm just babbling about old school wrestling, I know, at this point. But of course, all right, Jimmy Uso. Now we finally got someone here we can talk a little more about one of the matches. Obviously, we had the big bloodline match. I know we kind of talked about it with The Rock. But we got Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns realigning the original bloodline minus Solo Sikoa, who, of course, is on the other side. Well, I guess is on the other side. It's the new bloodline. But, you know, obviously they had Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, Jacob Fatu, and Solo Sikoa. So they haven't said, I don't think they said who the three are going to be. I'd assume it's going to be Solo, Jacob, and Tama. But I don't know. But in any event, I think the new bloodline, the Solo team, the bad guys, the heels, are going to win. And then that's going to create, because there's 4 of them against 3, it's going to create the need for the old school bloodline to get a 4th and set up the War Games match. So there we go. We got Asuka. Talked about her multiple times now. And I've put her card somewhere. We got Bianca Belair. I'm guessing this is a bronze. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's Bianca Belair, and we pulled Asuka. And then we'll talk about that in a minute. Of course, Bianca Belair is going to be involved in that Fatal 4-Way women's match, defending, along with Jade Cargill, defending the tag titles against Damage Control, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Metaphor, Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson, and then Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. It's a Fatal 4-Way, so that's an easy way for them to take the titles off of Jade and Bianca. They've done it before. So I'm kind of leaning toward maybe they'll lose, but I don't know to who. And like none of these teams really seem, I don't know. I don't feel like any of them are going to necessarily win. I guess maybe it'd be interesting if they had Lash Legends and Jakara Jackson with him just because then they can kind of bring him to NXT. But other than that, I don't really know. So I kind of just think Jade and Bianca are just gonna continue on as champs for now. I don't know. And then we got Seth freaking Rollins, of course, recently returned again from injury again, and attacked Bronson Reed because Bronson Reed had injured him. So they're fighting each other. I mean, given that it's Seth's first match back, you'd assume he'd win. But if you want to build up Bronson Reed, maybe it makes more sense for him to win. But at the end of the day, I think Seth's probably gonna win. And we're down to the final pack, and we have. Well, actually, I didn't really talk about who I thought was going to win Gunther, Seth Rollins. I mean, sorry, not Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes. But it kind of, there was that whole idea of Goldberg getting involved, which maybe, but But I can't not see Kevin Owens getting involved. So I think Gunther's going to end up winning. And there's Gunther once again. So say his name and he appears. Wait a minute, that's a different person. Although, wait, we got Dupes? What the heck? So I kind of think Gunther is going to win that match. Dirty Dom Mysterio. We're getting Dupes all of a sudden. What's this? It's like the same exact pack we got before. Wait, another Asuka? I don't remember there being two Asukas in that same pack. Got Bailey there to the bronze. She's not involved in a match. And then the Great Khali. Okay. Kind of a weird one to end the video on. All right, so what else didn't we talk about here? I guess LA Knight, he's on the box. I guess I mentioned that. He'll defend the title, the U.S. title against Andrade and Carmella. I just see LA Knight retaining there. And then Liv Morgan, Nia Jax. I think I already mentioned. I think Nia Jax is going to win because of all the shenanigans. Gunther, I said. Kevin Owens going to win. I think probably Seth Rollins, although probably more interesting if Bronson Reed won that match. LA Knight, I think Cargill and Belair, because I don't know. And then the new bloodline as opposed to the OG bloodline. So there we go. That's what I think is going to happen. It should be coming up pretty soon. I don't know when this video is going to go up. I'm actually recording a few days ahead of time, but it should go up. As you're watching this, the pre-show might be starting. I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably throw it up before the pre-show starts to kind of get a kickstart before that. So, yeah, the pre-show, I think it's at 11 Eastern time. And then the actual pay-per-view starts at 1, if I remember correctly. So, yeah. Could be good. 7 matches, which is more than they usually do for PLE. It's interesting. So, yeah. Could be a good one. Check it out and enjoy. So, thank you, everyone, for watching. I guess we'll be back in a couple weeks. I forget when. I think Full Gear is in maybe it's 3 weeks that Full Gear is. And then the Survivor Series, I think it's the next week after that. So, for those of you who enjoy the wrestling content, come back for that. And yeah, that's going to do it for now. So, thank you, everyone, for watching. Come back every day because I got videos posted every day, sometimes multiple in a day. Like earlier on today, I did a Hangover Saturday video. If you missed that, go check that out. And then just hit that subscribe button, turn the notification, get a notification every time video is up for any watch. Come over, watch, like, and share, comment, and all that fun stuff. Keep with this fun, just having fun here on the channel. Opening some wrestling cards, getting you ready for card wrestling, but also talking a little old school wrestling. I mean, yeah, that was a thing that happened. So there we go. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Stay safe, have fun. Talk to you next time. Bye.